key question for everybody thinking of running advertising in their budget. How much should you budget for getting started testing advertising, whether it's a good idea for you or not? Because we've all heard horror stories about people who have spent tons and tons of money on advertising and got nothing as a result. So I want to prevent that horror story from being you, but I also want to help you get started in advertising, because if you make advertising work, it can be the single most profitable thing in your business. And I mean that. It can literally be the single most profitable thing in your business. I strongly suggest you do that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my rule of thumb of how much you should spend in advertising to test whether it's right for you to continue. Basically, my recommendation is that you budget the revenue you will get from 2 clients. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you sell a coaching package that's $2,000. And so what we would do is we'd take $2,000 times 2 clients. So your budget for advertising would be $4,000. Now, do not spend this if that means you can't pay your rent next month. Do not spend this if it means you can't put food on the table. This is only if you have that $4,000 that you could potentially lose, because some people do lose that entire amount. So I don't want you spending that if it's going to affect your ability to put food on the table for your house or have some place to live. Okay. So, and then what you do is you spend that $4,000 and you see what happens, the conversions that happen from that level of spending. Now, before you spend that $4,000, remember, it's not $4,000. It's the revenue from 2 clients. So if you sell a $5,000 program, it's $10,000. If you sell a $97 program, it's $200. I don't recommend you do that, because the $200 isn't going to get you anything. I can virtually guarantee that. So you want to have at least $2,000 to spend to do this. If you can't get that, then you're probably not ready to be advertising right now. So, but before you spend a cent in testing your advertising, you have to have set up the infrastructure to make it so that that has the capability of actually turning into cash in your pocket. A lot of people just go, hey, I'm just gonna put up a landing page and advertise to it and see if I get anybody. But it's like, well, that means that every cent you spend in advertising gets you nothing until you got something to sell to people. So you need to have a landing page that gets people to opt in. You need to have an opt-in incentive that people really want, that gets them to want to give you their email address in order to get this thing. Then you need to have an introductory email campaign that tells them who you are and why you're different and why they should buy from you. Then you need to have a follow-up email campaign that basically goes from the introductory campaign, who you are, to selling them something. Because if you can't sell them something, you're never going to make any money. So you need to get quickly into this selling something piece to be able to measure whether or not you've got an ability to continue to advertise. Now, that doesn't mean you need to have a whole launch of webinars and emails and big fancy pages and all that kind of stuff. It can be as easy as, hey, here's what I offer. If you'd like to talk about whether it's right for you, fill out this form. And when they fill out the form, it gives them access to your Calendly page. They can sign up to whether or not they want to talk to you. And then you can literally be talking to people within a couple of days of starting to run advertising to see if they convert. It's literally that simple. Don't build everything in the world. Just build something that gets them from never having heard of you before in the world to buying something. Now, you may want to have in this process an instant offer. So we see this all the time where you send them to like a landing page, and then on the thank you page, you put up what we call a tripwire. I hate that name because it's got military implications and I hate it, but that's the name we use in this industry, so I'm going to use it. So on that thank you page, you offer them an inexpensive offer, a $7 offer, a $17 offer, just to get them to pull out their credit card and pay you something. Then on the checkout page for that, you put a one-click upsell. You've seen it before, where you've got the page coming down, then there'll be this little thing that says, hey, get this thing that's usually $97 for just $17. Click this box, and it adds it to their order. Then you probably want to have an upsell offer on top of that maybe is a $47 or something like that. And then maybe an additional higher upsell offer, a $97 or $197 offer. Basically, what that does is that combination of things enables you to pay for your advertising with the instant sales that you get from the people who come in on your advertising. The problem is this: you have to test this, because sometimes what I just showed you works great, and sometimes it kills your real sales of your $2,000 offer, your $20,000 offer, or whatever it is. I wish I had a definitive answer on this, but I don't, because every single situation is different. Every offer, every group of people that you're advertising to, they're all different. And so it's just something that you have to test. But basically, you need an ad that goes to some kind of offer, that goes to some kind of conversion, that goes to some kind of long-term way of making additional money from people. That's your secret to building an ad that turns into profits, that runs your business. When you get that ad to a certain point where it's consistently delivering more money from the advertising than you're spending on it, hey, your only question then is, how fast can I get $1 million? What's your thoughts on this? What's your experience in doing this? Let me know your thoughts on that rule of thumb: 2 times your revenues from one customer. Let me know in the comments. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.